Hi everyone, I'm here to talk to you today about the hall pass system we have here at Prairie Ridge. This is going to be new for some and review for others. So to get started, every student will get one hall pass per quarter, and every quarter your pass will be a different color. When you get your pass, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you put your name and your team at the top of your pass in ink. So I'm going to show you really quickly just some examples of how to fill out your hall pass. Teachers, you can help me explain this and kind of point out some of the areas that I'm talking about as well. So we're going to pretend really quick that this student is in study hall. He is asking to go to the library. So notice that he wrote library as his destination. He also wrote the day's date, the time that he is asking to leave the classroom, and then the person who has initialed here is his study hall teacher. So once she initials, then he is walking to the library, and once he gets into the library, he is going to go to the librarian, and she is going to put the time that he arrived at the library, and she will put her initials. So next, we're going to say that this student is done finding the book that he wanted. So now he's heading back to study hall. So notice on the second line, he has put that his destination is going back to study hall, the day's date, the time that he's returning to study hall, and the librarian again is putting her initials and he's leaving the library. Once he walks back to study hall, he will put the time that he arrived. And again, his study hall teacher is signing her initials to say that he arrived at that time. So the purpose of this is really just safety and accountability. We need to know where students are in the case of an emergency or a drill. We also just need to make sure students are being accountable and going where they say they are going to go, and making sure that the time that they're gone is a reasonable amount of time. So we're going to look at the restroom. It is a little bit different from like going to the library or going somewhere like that. So here's an example of all of our restrooms. You'll notice that every restroom has a clear container, and that container is placed there so that you can put your hall pass in the container when you're in the restroom. So if you are walking to the restroom, you'll put your hall pass in the container, go in the restroom, take care of what you need to take care of. This helps keep your pass clean. It helps keep your pass dry. When you're finished using the restroom, you'll simply take your pass out of this container and head right back to class. I also want to highlight a way that this helps keep students safe. Let's say that there's an emergency like a fire. As we are evacuating students out of the building, if we see someone's pass sitting in that clear container, that's an immediate signal to the adults in the building to check the restroom and make sure that there's no students in the bathroom that need evacuated. If there were to be a student in the restroom, that adult would stay and wait so that they're able to help get that student out of the building and reconnect them with their class. Here's a couple of pretty common questions that we hear throughout the year. What if I lost my hall pass, or what if my hall pass has ripped? If your hall pass is lost or ripped, you can visit the JAG store. We do sell new passes for 50 cents or 5 tickets. If it is past the time that the JAG store is open, you can also go to the main office and they will get you a new pass. Again, 50 cents or 5 tickets. Second question that we hear quite a bit, what if I accidentally took another student's hall pass, or what if I found another student's hall pass? So first thing is that if you know the student whose name is on the pass, you can simply return it to them. If you don't, that's fine. You can just bring it to the office and we can get it delivered to that student. The last question that we see is, what if all of the spaces are filled on the front and back of my hall pass? So you have about 25 spots on the front and 25 spots on the back of your hall pass, and that's good for the whole quarter. So if you have the front and back of your hall pass filled out, again, you can simply visit the JAG store or visit the office. 5 tickets or 50 cents gets you a new pass. But I do also want to highlight the fact that if you're filling out the front and back of your hall pass before the quarter's over, we also need to think about being responsible with that hall pass and making sure that you're leaving the classroom if you truly need to. So just be mindful of when you're asking to leave the classroom, do you really need to leave before you fill out and use your hall pass? All right, that's all that I have today. Overall, just be responsible with your pass. Go where you say you're going to go. Anytime you leave the classroom, you should be going directly to where you say you're going to go and then directly back to class. If you have any further questions, just ask your advisory teacher or really any adult for help, and we'll help you out. All right, thanks, guys.